What is up, everybody? So it's another weekend. My EGR video just come out on the 04 Hemi Ram. Well, guess what? I'm back with the 04 Hemi Ram. So when DIY Dad got home after we changed the EGR, the power steering pump went out, which I'm gonna get into that in a little further detail, but we want to get this thing fired up and we're gonna see. There it goes. Let's see what we got. Oh God. Wow. That is terrible. All right, man, so this is what we're gonna do, man. We're at 188, 658, right? So we seen that the power steering is out on the truck, man. So we're gonna get out here, we're gonna go through the process to get it off, get it replaced. But like I said, there's gotta be something else going on, and I'll explain a little later. So y'all just sit back and relax, and here we go with another one. So the first thing you wanna do, man, you wanna take your belt off. So we are gonna check the pump. Just, there it is, simple as that. They're racing around here today. So DIY Dad's supposed to buy another belt. That'll be a bonus. We're gonna pull this thing all the way off. Well, we're gonna give it heck. So with that, now you do not have to disconnect your battery if you don't want. You're not unplugging anything with your power steering pump. You are gonna lose fluid. I'm trying to see if we can hear it. I can't hear it. Oh, look at that. That's a bit excessive on the play. Look at that. Now, what he's experiencing is that when he gives it gas and it speeds this pulley up, it will start working right. But as soon as it comes down to an idle, it's like no power steering. Now, if you heard earlier when I started the truck in the first clip, you could hear it kind of whine, right? I'd let off, it would whine. So that's one sign. Now, like I stated, dude, my brother-in-law, before my dad bought this truck, has replaced this power steering pump 7 times. This is gonna be the 8th time in like 2 years. So, to my recollection, I think I've only ever replaced a power steering pump once every lifetime of the vehicle, really. Now, I'm not saying that it's not a bad pump, but 7 of them, there's gotta be something else going on. So what I'm suspecting, let me get my words right real quick. What I'm suspecting is that there's something wrong in that rack and pinion, and it's putting some kind of pressure or unwanted pressure on that bearing, right? And it's burning it out. So what we're planning on doing, because there's a warranty on this power steering pump, so we're gonna take it back and get another one. We're gonna see if we can get it going, get it back to my house, and then rip the rack off and replace the rack. So we took the belt off, man, y'all seen that. So we unbolted this here. It's 2, these are T30s, right? They come through here, right? And they hold your reservoir on. Now, when you take your reservoir off, you see this outlet right here? It goes into the side of your power steering pump, right there. So, I'm not sure if that comes with the new pump or not, but we took it off and we drained the fluid. Another thing to note is that we keep it mounted up high because we're trying not to drain everything out of the cooler. Now there is a line, let's climb underneath it. So there is a line down here. I've already broke it loose. Oh man, climb under here. Right here, right? I've already broke it loose. Now, I don't know what's gonna come out of it. We're about to find out. But once you do, see, you wiggle it and there's not much. Now the thing is I need to find something to put over this to save the fluid that's coming out of the cooler. You see where the line runs right here? Now, the pump will be empty, but the new pump would be empty also. So let me get something. I gotta get something to plug this up, and then we're gonna rip that power steering pump off real quick. Should be real quick. So now that we got this out, I forgot to mention, this is a 5/8. If you have a line wrench, it's perfect. If not, a 5/8 wrench works. Just, I zip tied it to the upper radiator hose to get it higher than the outlet, and then gravity will keep it down in this L right here, or this bend. So now it looks like, let's see here, it looks like probably maybe a 12 socket, and then we're gonna have to go through the holes on the power steering pump right here. That's how you get it out. Your bolts are 13s, right? I thought they were 12s, they're 13s. So you have to go through the holes on your pulley of your power steering pump. Now that you've disconnected your line at the bottom and you disconnected your reservoir, the pump should be empty. It shouldn't have any fluid in there. So when you take it off, you shouldn't have to worry about making a big mess anyway. There's one. I think it's 3. That's 2. And if you notice, each time I'm going through the hole in the pulley. That's the only way to get them off. So the third one's on top. I'm gonna go ahead and take these bottom 2 out, so when I get up top, I don't have to get back under here until I have another pump in my hand. And I do believe we gotta get a pulley puller and replace the pulley. Getting out there. Same thing, pull your bolts, whoop, through the holes. Inspect them. I mean, you're gonna have to reuse them. Unless you just plan on buying new bolts. I do not believe they come with a new pump. Now, like I was saying, this rack looks pretty good under here, but I mean, there's not to say that something's not going on in there. I mean, 8 power steering pumps, that's just not right. So your last ones right here, they're all on the side. There's one on the bottom, one on the inside, one on the top. Each one of them are 13s, and each one of them, you have to hit the hole in the power steering pump. Wow, that thing's still pretty tight.
Seal go out on it.
We're thinking this is rack. We're thinking this is steering rack.
And there it is, just like that. See how easy that is? Now it's off of there.
On the bottom?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to set it down through the bottom. I'm gonna set it right there so it doesn't break my drain pan.
Good shot, good shot.
And voila, there it is. So I wanted to show y'all real quick, man. These bolts, if you see, they line perfectly up with them holes. Each one of them. That's your way of getting them out. Even your bolt. And with this, it's a T30 Torx bit. Now, I don't know if the new one's gonna come with it or not. And if it doesn't, well, I got them loose so we can take it off when we get there. And if it does, then, well, we'll just let them have it. I believe it comes with this fitting too. I'm almost sure we're gonna have to pull that off. So we gotta go to the auto parts. When we get back, we'll click y'all back on. We'll put this thing on and see what it does. So I didn't record doing the pulley, pulling it and putting it back on. So I will give you a demonstration. So you're gonna need a pulley kit. This is just one rented from O'Reilly. 67010 would be your kit number. So to pull it off, you see here, you have two different sizes. Let me get them right here. See? Small and then big. So on these Ram pulleys, you go with the small one, clip it around, put your metal band around it like that. So then you have different sizes of these. So you're gonna get the big one. This will be the one to put it on with. This will be the one to pull it off. So you run it all the way up. Clip that around there like so. Make sure they're around your pulley down there. Tighten it up. It's a 5/8. It's bigger than a 17. I think it's an 18. Bigger than that. It's probably a crescent wrench. How about that?
Yeah, there you go.
So that'll be how you pull it off. You just drive this or run this up. It'll pull it off. And then to put it back on, so the inside of your pulley's threaded in there. It's got a female thread in there. So how I did it is I just ran it in there. Put you a little bit of WD-40 or something around that shaft. Run it all the way down to where it bottoms out. And then it's a 14 millimeter and a 17 millimeter, and drive that down until it pushes it back on. Check periodically while you're doing it, right? Because when you get flush right here, that's it. You're down all the way. So we're gonna get busy putting this back under the truck. Okay, man, so the pump, the new pump, it's a remanufactured. It comes with the new reservoir tank. So we're gonna have to take this hose off, which will probably get a little bit more messy. Gonna take that old worm clamp off of there, twist the hose, pull it off slow, right? Slow, because you don't know what's gonna come out of it. There we go. At that point, we're gonna set that down in our pan. So I'm going back with the pump. I wanna go ahead and put this hose on there, right? And get it over with. Well, we got, well, yeah. We're gonna have to do something with it. We're gonna start losing fluid. So we're gonna leave that. Actually, we're gonna try to get it up high like that and leave it for a second. See if I can't get that pump mounted, and then we'll go from there. So you slide me another bolt in here. Put one on the side there. All right, so get your pump set up here. Like I said, it takes up more room with that reservoir tank on there, but we got to get it up here and get it set in place, and then we can go from there. Right, we need it held up, which is kind of a chore, guys. Let's just be 100% honest about this. So if you lean that pump back a little bit, right, you can see that bolt hole. And then if you're lucky, oh, we got lucky, it'll start on the first try. Whew. Man, that's a win right there. Dad, where's that other bolt at, buddy?
I don't know, you got them all.
Oh, there it is, there it is, I got it. So now we're gonna throw this bottom bolt in there. And I would have done this from the top, but I had to get that hose out of the way, and it's really hard. This truck sits up so high, it's kind of difficult to get over it. Hold on, Dad, let go of that pump. All right, that's 2 out of the 3 started. So we know at that point, the pump will at least stay up there, right? So we got it held up there. 2 bolts, that's all we need right now. So with that, what we want to do is we want to close this thing up, right? We want to get all the possible leaks to go ahead and be closed up and out of the way. So we'll slide our reservoir hose back on. Well, hold on, I got to turn that clamp over. Just keep your hose high, right? Because the lower it goes, you'll start draining that cooler. And nobody wants to do that. Well, how about that, dude?
Rolling.
All right, guys, so get your clamp position to where you can get to it. I find it easier just to grab you a 5/16 socket, right, and clamp it on that way. Now, don't get crazy, right? You don't want to cut your hose. You just want it on there tight enough it won't come off, right? With that, you're good. Now, Dad, them cutters are up there. Cut that black zip tie right there. We're gonna pull this other line down and put it in there. They should, there you go. Yeah, they're a little bit rusty, man. Hang on, camera angle's going crazy.
Yeah, it is. Hang tight, people.
Here we go.
Hold on, let me get it. I don't want to cut the hose.
All right, so when you bring this one down, be quick about it, right? Because it'll start leaking fluid. Well, y'all wouldn't believe it. Y'all wouldn't believe it if I didn't show you that the reservoir hose is on the wrong side, dude. So I gotta take the reservoir hose back off to put this one back the other way. So y'all just bear with me for a second.
Living and learning.
Living and learning, baby. So we got them swapped, man. This is something you need to know, is that your hose for your reservoir tank needs to go on the outside of your pressure hose on the bottom of your power steering pump. Just so you know, so you don't go through what I just went through. You know, especially if you're trying to save fluid, which at this point, I think we're long past saving fluid. So we want to make sure our hose is up all the way. There goes the socket. Well, oh, where did it go?
Where you can't find it?
I got it. I got it. I got it. And then, like I said, tighten it up, but don't tighten it up so much you cut your hose. Yeah, me personally, if I had a constant tension clamp, I'd probably put that on there instead.
Yeah, plastic tank.
Yeah. But with that, we'll just run it down snug. If it drips, we just tighten it up a little bit, right? Right. All right. That's on there. Let me get my 5/8 wrench. We'll tighten this up and then we'll finish tightening up this power steering pump. So I got my 5/8 wrench. We're gonna tighten up this pressure line here. So I believe that we saved a lot of the fluid in the cooler. And then this here, you just wanna make sure it's good and sealed, right? You don't have to get real crazy on it, but you do want it good and sealed. So I did get the top bolt started, right? And now we're gonna go with tightening up the pump completely, except for since it's a little more difficult on the bottom, we're gonna do the bottom first and then we'll jump to the top. We'll do the bottom and the side, should I say. It's the same principle, go through the holes on the pulley. And let me tell you, they are long-winded. So I'm just gonna snug it up Y'all know how I like to do it. I'd rather have them all ran in at once before I get crazy and start tightening them up super tight. I don't know, I mean, it really just, the engine just kind of holds the pump. It works on its own off the belt. So it's not like you really have to, you know, nail it down flush, or you just want it to sit down all the way. You're definitely gonna need a drain pan, 13 millimeter, 3-inch extension, 3/8 ratchet. You need a 5/8 wrench or line wrench, and either a 5/16 or a Phillips, whatever you have for your hose to your reservoir. All right, so these here are snugged up. I want to get up top and do the top one real quick. Wow, this is such a tall truck, man. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hit the camera. We have an issue. We have an issue right here. Look at this. All right, so we got to finish running this top one in. We have a small situation. I don't think it's going to be too major, but we'll get into that here in a second. There we go. Now we're getting it in there. All right, so you see the problem here? See that? So what I'm thinking is that this thing, when I tighten this up, I need to roll this a little further back and away. Right, so I'm gonna have to re-loosen that hose down here. It's actually a line, it's not a hose. It's actually a line. But let me finish getting in this power steering pump tightened up all the way. At least, you know, match the energy that it took to get off. All right. Now, so this is what we're gonna do. This is how we're gonna try to solve the issue. We're gonna break this loose. We're gonna roll it. You see how I rolled that back? Right? Now that's something you need to note. Make sure it stays rolled back. When you tighten it up, if you don't, it's gonna rub that fan, and guess what? You're gonna cause a leak. Look, clear. So that was awesome. Now all we gotta do is we gotta fill it full of fluid, put the belt back on, fire it up, and see what it does, man. So we'll get right back with y'all. Okay, going through all the camera angles and getting that pump back on became a little more exciting than I planned on it being, but we got it. It's tight, it's on, hoses are on, the line's out of the way of the radiator fan. Now we gotta fill it up and put the belt back on. So we're gonna throw the old belt back on. We didn't get a new one yet, but hey, it'll last until he gets out to the house. I think we're still gonna replace the rack and pinion a week or so from now. That'll be on him. Now, the point of this is, when you go back, you're gonna use ATF4, right? That is your power steering fluid. It states it in the Chilton owner's manual from 03 to 08 Rams. It states that ATF plus 4 is your power steering fluid along with your transmission fluid. So we're gonna top it off, get the belt put back on, and then we'll fire it up and see what we got. At that point, you'll see what we see. Okay, so this is how you're gonna wrap your belt. This is how you wanna hold it, right here. You see that? You wanna hold it like that. You're gonna sit it over the top of your fan. Now you're gonna have to get down on the ground, and then you're gonna have to climb back up, and it always works best with 2 hands, or 2 sets of hands. So we're gonna do it like this here. It's up over the water pump, around the crank pulley, right? It's gonna go around your lower idler pulley, And we're gonna end up taking it off the tensioner, but right now we're just gonna wrap it so it's in place. Right, like so. Then it's gonna go down, around, almost all the way around your water pump. And it's gonna come back to your power steering pump on the bottom, like so. Then you're gonna climb back up top, right? It goes around like this, around like that. Ah, we missed a pulley somewhere. All right, y'all hang. No, we didn't. No, we didn't. Yeah, we did. All right, y'all hang tight. So when you come around, it's gonna go in between your compressor and your alternator, down around your top idler pulley, right? And then it'll wrap back around like this. So at that point, what we gotta do, we gotta pull it off our tensioner. We're gonna wrap it. This is what it's gonna look like right here. Right, going around your engine. So it goes crank. Well, you know, I have a video with this on there. So now let me grab, it's a 3/8 drive. Pull your tensioner up. Slide your belt over it, and then voila, you should be good. Check all your pulleys, make sure your belt's all the way on around your pulleys, all the way. See how it's kind of off right there? Now, yeah, when you first start your truck, it'll either line it up or throw it. So why take the chance and just push it over a little bit? Now we're in line, we're wrapped all the way around. So, now that I'm done with that, I'll explain to you. Let me climb back up here. So you're gonna go around the bottom of your crank, okay? Let me get underneath the truck. I can explain it better. I'm trying to give y'all the best possible explanation. So it goes around the crank, up and around your lower idler pulley, straight out and over the top of your tensioner, right there. Okay, now going back the other way, it goes up, right? Let me get you over here. Oh yeah. Crawling around the ground here. It goes up and around your water pump, comes back down and then around your power steering pump up to your AC compressor. Now we'll get back up top. Once you get to the AC compressor, it goes down in between the AC compressor to the top idler pulley and then back around and up to your alternator. And then we're back at our tensioner right here. So that's how you wrap the belt. I do have a video on that if you need to check it out. And we're gonna fire this thing up and see what we got, gentlemen. Here we go, man. We're about to fire it up first time. Belt's on, everything's on. We made sure our line is out of the way of the fan. Here it is. It took almost a full quart to fill just this up, the reservoir. Hit it, Dad. All right, nice and slow with the wheels. There we go. So you want to go slow. You want to fill up all the power steering fluid that you leaked out, but you don't want to create air pockets. Nice and steady. All the way back the other way. We're gonna get down low, make sure there's no leaks down here. You always want to make sure leaks are that you're leak free. So So far looks good, pump sounds good, everything sounds good. He's turning the wheel nice, back and forth. So, with that guys, that's how you change the power steering pump on your 04 Hemi Ram. Same principle on your 03, and I believe it's the same principle on the 09. Now, that did fix his problem once again. But like I stated earlier in the video, there's gotta be something else for these pumps to keep burning up. So, DIY Dad just told me right now that there's still a little bit of blockiness in that power steering pump, or in that power steering. So that probably tells me that the rack and pinion's trying to play out. And that goes to show you that no matter what it looks like, it could be bad. Now, until we get into that, that's gonna be a wrap for this one. So y'all keep living the dream, doing your thing. Like and subscribe. Always drop your boy a comment. We're gonna top this power steering pump off and take this thing for a spin.